season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Second-round pick from Iowa State. This is Breece Hall. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Hall again on second down. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run with a 4th-year man. This is Damian Harris. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. And that CD, one heck of a run. He just refused to go down.
And that's where determination comes in, because he had at least a couple of guys had really good shots at him, but he just said, I don't think so. Speed, power, elusiveness, all on display right there. Look like you, partner, back in your salad days in Evansville.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Right, 22.
On 1st down, right back to Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The Vikings at 1-8 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Stafford on first down. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Cowboys will take over here at their own 12-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Watson over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And a nice call and really good execution there because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps, You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on him. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They send him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
On first down, it's Watson. That's complete to McBride. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now a 2nd down and 6. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Call it no gain that time. They're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
On 4th down, Watson. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So they convert on 4th, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Mike, it's been this negative was he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Ball again on 2nd down. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 41 yards on the ground for him so far. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Fancy footwork in midfield. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Well, that was big right there because they're the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Being chased out left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. That's complete to Pierce. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And then you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From just shy of midfield, Watson able to get this one to McBride. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. They hand this off to Harris. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down. That fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Working with a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll try the air now with Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's McBride. Touchdown! Trey McBride, his 6th touchdown of the season. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Stafford. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Hall. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They snap it to Stafford. Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going forward there is the right call.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Four yards remain for second down. A give to Harris. Pushes him over. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So not the greatest of first halves for them, but a little ray of light here at the end. The late turnover becomes 3 points before the break.
Well, they certainly needed something positive to go their way. Maybe 3 points doesn't seem like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's something to build on as they head into the half.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain on the play there, second down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter three. And the half will begin with a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it is really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Vision and speed, two of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you find his body, and he's able to get in there and make a great play.
And the next-gen stats tell the story as he was traveling at better than 19 miles an hour. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage. Now a play fake, and it's Watson.
And that is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Watson. He's got his man. It's Pierce. And they're going to get this up to midfield. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Watson, off play action. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit that to the former Texas Longhorn, Joseph Osai, who got in there.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Returnable for Grant. On that punt, we've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Hey, Red!
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Stafford. He finds his man, complete. That's Grant. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. On the return, it's Tony. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7, though, on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They run again with Harris. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on third down, Watson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Stafford. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now it's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off of play action, it's Watson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Watson. He gets it complete to Harris. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
On first down, Watson. That went into the hands of Tony downfield. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Kadarius Toney, 75 yards. And the Cowboys are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Jake Elliott set to kick off.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And the boy showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Jakeem Grant, 57 yards. And the Vikings are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Santos with the extra point, and the lead now down to 20. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Here comes Grant on the return. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. A lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Sliding up, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Joseph Osai picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
139 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing 2nd and now long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like 2nd and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a 1st down.
And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stopped him short.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Ball again on 2nd down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They'll go again with Hall. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's
play fake it at Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
A.J. Terrell on the coverage.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short.
The 50-yard line. A gain of 6 yards. It's 50-50.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. CD, you remember John Elway?
Oh, boy. How could I forget John Elway and how many NFL defenses? So glad he's no longer throwing the ball around.
Well, Elway threw for 51,475 yards, and we just saw him go past that number for career passing yards.
That means his career now as memorable as John Elway's, and that's a pretty significant accomplishment.
Man, what an accomplishment it is. Congratulations. And he's still doing it. Still doing it at a high level. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
On 4th down, Stafford. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Wait a second, that's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a first down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now. Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys.